Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to this episode of the Joe Yoga Life Diaries. So I'm going to jump straight in with it today. This is just really going to be a bit of a conversation about women and mothers and our expectations of ourselves. And really, this was inspired by a post that I saw on Facebook. It's in a private group. And she said, this is what she said. I'm going to start by telling you that I'm seriously struggling mentally right now. If I hear the kids shout mum one more time or the dog bark at nothing, I'm going to explode. My husband's still in bed, acting dead, and I'm about to fall apart. Anyone have shit days like this when all you want to do is run away? So thank you so much for sharing that. As I say, it was in a private group. It wasn't just out there for attention as some social media posts can be. This was a serious, just like, I'm having a rough day and I need people to know about it. And she was absolutely right. And so I want to start right from there. And that is that, yeah, I do have days like that. And I know plenty of people who do. And actually the comments that went on after that post, there are so many of us who we do 100% have days like that, where we're literally to the end of our tether because it might be that the dog is driving us mad and the children are driving us mad and we don't seem to be getting support from home and things like that. You are not alone, my love, not alone. And if you ever felt like running away, to anyone who feels this, you are not alone. This is a real thing. It was brilliant that she'd put it out on social media, because then the support that came and, you know, the reassurance of like, yes, I've had days like that. How about trying this? Why not go and do this? You're not alone. It's okay. You've got this. And all of that, you know, this is the positive side of social media, is that when you don't feel that you can reach out to a sister or a friend because you're just boiling inside and you just can't actually feel like you want to go and speak to anybody, you can actually just rant into a group on social media just to kind of get it off there. I mean, I did it a few years ago where I was it at the beginning of this year, the beginning of last year? I can't remember. There was a point at which I was on burnout with work, and I really felt that being a yoga teacher, you're very much a service provider, and all of your training and just your general cellular makeup is that you want to serve and you want to help because you're aware of the bigger things in the world, you're aware of the bigger life, and we're empaths, or I'm an empath anyway. And so it really did feel like, you know, well, I have this service to provide, I have this training and I have this wisdom and this knowledge, I have to share it. And I was at a point where I didn't want to share it anymore. I was burnt out and I didn't want to work and I didn't want to do what I was doing, what I've been trained to do. And I felt awful because what I do is needed in the world. And I remember just putting a little thing out on Facebook into a yoga teachers group. Again, it was a specific group. It wasn't out there just to randoms or to my family. It was to people who may or may not be in the same situation. And I didn't put it out there to get help. I put it out there because I needed to get it off my chest and I needed to put it out there to the universe to know. I received so much support back that I never expected, and I hadn't, genuinely, when I typed it, I hadn't typed it with any kind of consciousness or anything or any expectations. I just typed it because I had to get it out of my head and get it somewhere, and that was the place I decided to put it. What I received back from then was like, yeah, we've all felt this, we've all been there, and we know how it feels, and we are not perfect. So when you feel like running away, when things are so on top of you and you feel like you just can't cope anymore, the first thing I want you to remember is that we're not perfect. We do not have to cope all of the time. We do not have to be the perfect person, whatever that looks like to you, all of the time. We are entitled to get some peace and quiet and not constantly be called mum. Children will always seem to call their mum. Their dad might well be working from home, but it seems to be the mum that's sorting everything out. Okay, that is just the way of life. Unfortunately, when we become mothers, we are aware of the pressure that's going to be put on us and we are aware of what we are expected to do, but we are still damn right entitled to a day or two off every now and then. And it is okay to be at the end of your tether with your children. Okay, we are human and they are human. Okay, so we are going to rub ourselves up the wrong way. It's okay to be really feel like running away just because your children want you to be a mum. That's okay. If you don't feel like being a mum today, you don't have to. It's fine. It's okay to feel like that. When I look at some of my friends sometimes and I think, oh, so put together, you know, they always look immaculate. They always look serene. The hair is done. The clothes are good. The children are always immaculate and appear to be fed and, you know, really healthy foods and thriving. And sometimes when you look at people we have to remember that people are putting their highlights out there. They are putting, certainly on social media, they're putting, all right, there are those posts where people just go, I'm going to lose it. And then you get the sort of, are you okay, hun? Comments, which is obviously what they've put it out there for. They've put it to get some response and to be seen and to be witnessed. But it is people's highlights. People are not going to put, walk down to the shops in their pajamas and slippers. Some might, but I know for a fact that I might be really comfy in my joggers at home, and I'm like, well, I can't go to the shop and get milk. I'm in my joggers, so people might see me in the shop and think, oh, she's always really put together. Yeah, but I wasn't 5 minutes ago. And the quickest way to get me to clean my house is to phone me and tell me you're popping in for a coffee, because my house does not always look immaculate. I'm putting the highlights out there. I'm putting the polished side of me that I'm happy for the world to see. And that's what everyone's doing. So when you see other people who are thriving and doing well, that is amazing, and that's great they're doing well. But it's not like that 100% of the time. Okay, we all have times where actually we just think, I'm banging my head against a brick wall and I can't seem to get anywhere. We do have those. So that's the first thing, is just remember that you're not alone, and what you're seeing of other people is not their real life either. It is a snapshot and a highlight and a little gifted moment. Okay, everybody is not surviving 100% of the time. Life is a roller coaster, and we will always have down days, and we'll always have days where we just feel it's really hard. My mantra, the second most important thing, is for you to always remember is that if you are not okay, they are not okay. So as much as we are here to do as much as we can for our family, to look after them and to be the wife and the mother, or the partner and the mother that we had chosen to be, we've got to be okay to do that. We've got to be well. We've got to have our energy cup full. We've got to have our love cup full. We've got to be healthy. And if that means taking yourself off for a walk, if that dog's barking at nothing, get it out there, go a walk and get yourself some headspace. Get some fresh air, or put on a podcast, put on a meditation, take some time. And if the children are crying because they're hungry, or your partner's crying because they're hungry, then, there's a bottle of milk and a bowl of cereal, and there is, he can get himself food, your partner can get himself food. You've got to put yourself first. You've got to say, I need a day, I need an hour, I need time. And you've got to do this guilt-free. Get rid of the guilt, get rid of the shame, get those strong boundaries. If you go back and look at my episode list, I have an episode all about setting strong boundaries, and you've got to set them. You've got to look after yourself, because if you aren't okay, they are not okay. And keep repeating that to yourself. Put yourself first. Self-care, self-care, self-care. This is why in my 6-week program, my 6-week transformational program, the first week is completely about self-care, right at the foundations. You've got to build the foundations. If you're not okay, if you're not 100% full and feeling good and knowing what's important and knowing what your boundaries are, there's no way you can start setting them and doing things for other people. You've got to start with you. It has to start with you. And keep saying that. It starts with you, my love. It all starts with you. So if you're feeling low and you're feeling like you want to run away, and if you're feeling like that, you need to get yourself some headspace, guilt-free. There's no point taking some headspace and then beating yourself up over it because you took some headspace. Do it, and you do it guilt-free. Simple as that. And you have to be strong with this. You have to take your own health you put your children's health of the high importance. You have to put your health of the high importance, even higher. Yeah, because you need to be okay so you can look after them. So you come first. And I keep saying it, guilt-free, shame-free. Put yourself first. So you are not alone. Get yourself some space. Get yourself some time. Really something uplifting on. And even if it's like a lovely movie or a podcast, drink plenty of water, get yourself out and get some headspace. Okay? It's okay to feel like you want to run away, as long as you can give yourself the time and the space to recollect your thoughts, get your priorities sorted, which of course is you first, and then you can move on from there. I know that there are millions of us women who feel like this, and we have good days, we have bad days, we have days where, or even weeks where we decide, actually, I'm not going to do the grocery shopping this week. I'm just going to see and wait and see what happens, and see if someone else takes it on, or if it just gets delivered, because what if you weren't there? Other people have to step up and do it. Thankfully, you are there, but it needs to be a joint effort. And if you're a single mom and you feel like that, please do ask for help, ask friends. And if you don't have that support network around you, then find a way that works for you. Put yourself first, put your importance, your health above your children's. Somebody said to me once, and this is a shocking thought, but it is true, you don't have to mother your children. And for me, the thought of not mothering my child is just, I can't even get my head around that. And I'm sure that's the same for many mothers. But it is the reminder that it's true, actually. It is 100% your choice to be a mother. And the fact that you get your children up and dressed and fed every day, well, that's great. That's your choice and you've done that. So well done. It's not expected. It shouldn't be assumed. It is a choice that you're making. And that's brilliant. So everything is a choice. So on days when you feel really, really overrun, what's the next step that's going to make you feel better? Don't look at the big picture. What's the next step I need to take that's going to make me feel better? So I just want to remind you of these 3 points. When you're feeling like running away, you're feeling completely overwhelmed by things and you're frustrated, you are not alone. Nobody else's life is perfect. Take some space, some time for you, and what's your next best step that you can take that's going to help you mentally and physically. And if you want to make self-care a little bit more of a priority for you, I do have the 12 Days of Christmas Yoga Challenge coming up, where you'll be able to get more clarity, be able to take rest, and just be more prepared for the holiday season and what's coming up. But also we'll be having fun and making connections at the same time. So do not suffer alone. Go to my website, realjoeyoga.com, and join in the challenge and make this Christmas as much about you as it is your family. Have a really great week. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening today. If anything resonated or you feel inspired to, please share, as that is how we spread the healing. To learn more about me, my teachings, or any of the Joe Yoga programs, go to www.joeyogauk.co.uk, and I'll see you next time. Bye.